Hey, hey, Dripping Springs. It is Ashley and Amber for Weekly Drip Season 5, Episode 19. Amber, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Cannot complain. We saw a little bit of sunshine yesterday, so that was a nice break and like all the cloudy, gloomy weather.
Yes. It's also still very humid today,
Yeah.
as evidenced by my frizzy hair.
I just went with like a slick back look. Those seeing us for the first time ever, this is the Weekly Drip where we jam on all things Dripping Springs, and we have for years at this point. So today we're going to pivot a little bit. It's really important that everybody knows that you have two nominated for best ofs sitting on camera live with you today. Today's the last day for voting. I would covet your vote as best realtor in Dripping Springs, best brokerage, Keller Williams in Dripping Springs. And then Amber and I in tandem run a little book club called the Weekly Drip Book Club. We are up for best social group. So we would really be grateful for your votes. I'm going to have the link dropped here. You can vote once. If you're watching this from, I don't know, Norway, that's fine. You can vote from there too. And in keeping with a little bit of a pivot, as business owners, we almost never talk about ourselves. So I wanted to take this little time block and I'm just going to go back to my roots with my small business interviews. We're going to jam on Amber, owner of Coit Cleaning and Restoration, for today. So ask her all your questions. If you have some water curiosities, she can answer them. We're going to dive into that. So that's what we're talking about today, because we're only having conversations with the best of Dripping Springs today. So let's kick it off. Amber,
Yes.
how long have you owned Coit Cleaning and Restoration? And what is Coit Cleaning and Restoration?
So Coit Cleaning and Restoration, we are a franchise. We are owned by my husband and I. This franchise here in Austin, Dripping Springs, has been open for, goodness, it's gonna be 6 years this summer. Coit was, the name Coit came from, and I'm going to tell a California story, but it's got a good ending. So Coit was founded in California, in San Francisco, and the original company was a drapery company. And as times were progressing, they were realizing that drapery was not necessarily sustainable for an entire business anymore. And so they were looking to branch out into some different things, and were trying to figure out what to name their company. Well, for those of you who don't know, there was a horrific fire in San Francisco where a big chunk of the city burned down. Well, there was this family called the Coits who had a tower erected there. And what that tower was there for was so that somebody could stand on the top of the tower and keep watch over the city.
Oh, like Watchtower.
Yes. So in the event that something ever happened again, a fire, an emergency like that, somebody was watching so that they could go and let everyone know and it wouldn't get so bad. So it really became a beacon of hope and protection in the city. And as they were trying to figure out what their new name should be, the original drapery cleaning company was actually facing the Coit Tower, and it was what was right outside their window. And they loved what the tower stood for and decided that was really what they wanted Coit to be.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh. That's super, super cool. How long have you been operating in Dripping Springs? And are you in Dripping Springs, or are you one of those Facebook scammers?
We are right here in Dripping Springs. We are actually Fitzhugh and McGregor area. So we are in Drip. Since we have been in Drip the entirety of the time that we've owned this location, since we opened almost 6 years ago.
Cool. What are your services? Cleaning and restorations. Will you come clean my toilets?
No.
Oh, that's not what that means.
I would not be the best person for that, if I'm completely honest. But we have a variety of services. We're the company, not that you call in for maid cleaning services, like clean your toilets, clean your sinks, those kind of things. We are the company that you call in once, maybe twice a year to do a really good deep cleaning to help get everything to a level where it's easier for you to maintain the clean. Okay. So with that, we do all floor cleaning, whether that's tile and grout or carpet or area rugs, wood floor, natural stone, concrete. We do all of that good deep cleaning. We also clean upholstery. We also do, we do so many different things. We also do dryer vent cleaning and air duct cleaning, and that's the most of the cleaning side of things. But then the restoration side is for water damage, as well as fire, bacterial growth, and any kind of odor, smoke. Anytime there's something that you're like, something is going on here and I need an expert to come and look at it as far as air quality or just things that are a little bit out of the norm.
Okay. Curious, how often does one need to have their dryer vents or air ducts cleaned? Is that a yearly thing? What's the deal there?
Yes. So your dryer vent should be cleaned every 1 to 2 years to prevent it from being a fire hazard. Strongly suggest against waiting until your dryer stops drying your clothes. If you're at the point that it's taking an hour or longer for your clothes to dry, a normal size load, it's probably time to have your dryer vent cleaned. As far as the air duct cleaning goes, the National Air Duct Cleaning Association suggests having your air ducts cleaned every 3 to 5 years. And there's a couple things that can make that be more or less time. The newer systems are really efficient as long as they are enclosed properly and they're sealed completely in the attic. And so a lot of times you can go a little bit longer with those. Whereas the older systems, they're leaky and they're creaky and they're just not quite as efficient. And those I would say a little bit more often. Also, if you have any reconstruction in your home or if you're just noticing a lot of dust, those are really good indicators that it's time to have your ducts cleaned.
What do you mean by a lot of dust?
So if you are dusting, realistically, if you're dusting more than once a week and you're noticing that there's just a layer on everything, that's not really normal. Unless you're leaving the doors open and the windows open and just like letting everything come in. If your house is closed up, you should not have to be that aggressively dusting where you're noticing just a pile or a layer after a week.
If somebody notices that, I'll just use like a random example that I've come across, the HVAC drip pan has overrun it. Those weren't keeping cleaned. And now there's a little bit of a leak situation happening. Should we call you first or should we call insurance first?
I would recommend to call us first over insurance. A lot of times what can happen is while our insurance is there to be able to take care of us, we also want to make sure that we're not filing claims that aren't going to at least meet our deductible. So what we can do is we can come in, we can do an inspection, we can help you kind of have an idea of what the pricing is going to look like to have those repairs done. And then from there, you can make a better educated decision on if it makes sense to file a claim. If there's maybe $3,000 worth of work and your deductible is $4,000, that doesn't make sense. If there's $3,000 in work and your deductible is $2,000, that might not even make sense. You want to make sure that when you're filing a claim that it's really going to make sense, because over time, your deductible will go up or your premium will go up. So you want to make sure that it's really something that's worth it when you file those claims.
That totally makes sense. What am I not asking? Oh, what does it cost to have you come out and take a look at whatever issue is going on?
$0. We do free inspections. We are happy to come out and do free inspections, free estimates. If you're not sure if your system needs to be cleaned, your HVAC system needs to be cleaned, we're happy to come out and take a look at that and let you know. And we'll be really honest with you. You know, it is a little bit dirty, but I don't know that it's time to have it cleaned yet. Why don't you give us a call back next year?
Okay. Okay. What have I not asked that I should have?
Ooh, oh, I am wearing my lifelong learning shirt today. So one thing that makes us different, I think, than some of the other cleaning and restoration companies is that we really aspire to be lifelong learners. So even though Travis and I have been in the industry cumulatively 33 years, we are experts. That doesn't mean that we stop educating ourselves. We are constantly looking for the best ways to do things. We are constantly getting more certifications and just getting better educated. I don't believe that you can ever have too much knowledge on the best way to do things to be able to take care of yourself or your customers. It is always good to keep growing and learning. So that's definitely something that's important to us here at Coit.
My next question, I think I already know the answer to, and this is my way of forcing you to humble brag just a little bit. How many times have you won Best of?
We have won Best of Drip 4 different years in a row for both the cleaning and damage restoration, and we are in the running again. So considering there's only been 5 years we were eligible to be voted for, and we've won 4 of those, and we're in the running for the 5th, I feel like we must be doing something right, and I'm so honored to have won as many times as we have already, and that really gives me so much joy to know that our customers are feeling that we're taking care of them the way that we want them to be taken care of.
Again, y'all, tuning in for the first time, this is definitely a pivot from our normal conversations, and we're going to wrap up. So, Amber, first, thank you for letting me put you on the spot and be a little bit vulnerable. I didn't prep her with any of these questions before we kicked off today. I just said, hey, I have an idea, and Amber's like a partner, and it's not crime. That's the wrong word. Not crime. Kind. She's always like up for an adventure. But my final question before we wrap today is, you can only pick one thing. What is your favorite thing about living in Dripping Springs?
Ooh, hands down, the people. This is the most incredibly supportive community that I have ever been a part of in my entire life. I don't know that exists anywhere else in the entire world. I don't know that is something that can be duplicated. I think that is something that is very specific to Dripping Springs, and that's both customer side as well as other business owners. It's all the people. Y'all are my favorite people.
Love it. Well, again, you guys, this was Weekly Drip Season 5, Episode 19. Next week, we will resume our normal Hype Up Dripping Springs shenanigans, and we will see you then. One last request, Best of is happening right now. Our friend Martin just made a comment. I agree. We're going to We're going to drop the link for you to vote here in the comments for y'all. And let me do that right now so everybody can grab it before we sign off. There it is.
Boom.
Boom. Now you have it. Vote, please. And we will see y'all next time.
Bye. Thank you.